It's the home stretch of the USL League One season, and we come to you from the greater Omaha area tonight, where a Union Omaha side with table-topping aspirations hosts a Richmond squad desperate for points. You are watching USL League One on ESPN Plus, presented by Mutual of Omaha. We say hello and welcome here from Warner Park in Papillion, Nebraska. Sam Goldfarb here, excited to bring you all of the action tonight between the pair of sides looking to get in proper league form tonight. Jumping into Union Omaha, this is a team that has scored a myriad of goals, the second best attack in the league, and Steven Dos Santos is perhaps the talisman of the goal-scoring machine. A man with 4 goals in 8 appearances, also 8 goals in all competitions, someone who has made his trade in the USL ranks for quite some time as a proven goal scorer, and in year 2 with Omaha, it is no different as the man who leads the line for Omaha tonight. On the other side of things, between the sticks, Rashid Nuhu is sensational, one of the best goalkeepers in USL League One. Tonight he'll have his hands full with a Richmond side desperate for goals. You see these acrobatic saves. He's come up on the regular despite being a Golden Glove winner. Dom Casciato feels he's playing even better this year. You turn the page to Richmond. They are desperate for goals. We've touched on it. A team that's only scored 1 goal in each of the last 4 appearances. Adrian Billhart, though, perhaps the standout performer all year. A dynamic winger with terrific finishing ability and someone who has carried them through their rough spells. Tonight, they need him to continue his solid form for a team that is looking to pull off the surprise on the road. But he's not just the only key performer for Richmond on the flanks tonight. On the other side of things, Chandler O'Dwyer, the opposite flank, provides quite a bit. A man who also has 4 goals to his name, but has not scored since that Henny Derby dagger against Madison in their last victory on July 3rd. Again, for a team that does not score goals and has missed a number of chances this year, they need him in proper form tonight. It's him and it's Billhart that carried the machine with Terzaghi out. They'll be hoping for a return to their positive displays here tonight. Well, we are just about set for kickoff from Warner Park. Omaha looking to surge towards the top of the table. Richmond desperate to get themselves back in playoff contention. Stick with them. Lineups and kickoff are next on ESPN Plus.
Season 1 of Wild Kingdom, Protecting the Wild, brought one of the most beloved legacy television series back to audiences nationwide.
It's just a thrill of a lifetime.
Now, with over 1 million viewers each week and 4 Emmy nominations to its name, it's time for Season 2. Time for breathtaking new adventures.
It's a kitten!
Intense new challenges. International exploration.
That is so cool.
And animal encounters like never seen before.
Hi. We have 3 newborn cubs to this mama.
The legacy continues on Season 2 of Wild Kingdom, Protecting the Wild. Coming this fall to NBC.
We welcome you back to Warner Park in Papillion, Nebraska. It is Omaha and Richmond getting set to kick things off here in a matter of moments, presented by Mutual of Omaha. Well, for both these teams, it is a must-win for different reasons. Union Omaha, a team that could jump to atop the table if all breaks right. A Richmond team that sits below the playoff line. Here is your look at the 11s tonight, presented by Rotella's Italian Bakery. Omaha, the classic 3-4-3 this season under Dom Casciato. Zico Lewis making his first league start of the year. He's partnered by Dos Santos in the center of things and Joe Gallardo up front. Meanwhile, Marco Milanese slotting into that left wing back, could slot into left center back as well. It is Brendan Knapp and Norte Norti in the heart of midfield, with Max Schneider returning to Indy 11, recalled from his loan. On the other side, Richmond, also presented by Rotella's Italian Bakery. They're in the 4-2-3-1. Darren Sawatsky's rocked with this for the bulk of the season. The dual pivot of Zaka Moran and Justin Suko. And then Neil Vinyals, the league's top chance creator, sits behind the all-time leading goal scorer in the league's history in Emiliano Terzaghi. This is about the best available lineup Darren Sawatsky can trot out. There is tons of talent. The question is, can they turn it into goals this evening? Well, Ryan Shello back between the sticks, hoping his side can keep their first clean sheet in league play since July of 2023. But he'll have his work cut out for him against an Omaha team that has banged in the goals with regularity this season. Stage is set. Omaha looking to solidify itself towards the top of the table. Richmond desperate to find themselves back into the playoff hunt. It is a huge match, despite the difference between the two teams in the standings. 6 places to be precise, but both playing for vastly different aspirations this evening. We see Richmond, they are in the white kits with the red numbers, their classic away jerseys. Neil Vignal's donning the captain's armband. Meanwhile, Union Omaha, the classic black with yellow numbers. They'll be going from left to right on your screen. It is Richmond looking to keep up with postseason pace. It is Omaha with table-topping aspirations. What will give tonight? Find out in a matter of 90 minutes. We await Wesley Costa's signal tonight. He will proceed over the action here on the outskirts of Omaha. There is the whistle, and underway from Werner Park. A big clash entering the home stretch of the league season. Well, we thank you for joining us. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action from Werner Park. Doubles as a baseball stadium. It makes for a very narrow pitch, and it provides tricky playing conditions. Darren Sawatsky emphasized that on the phone this week. Said it is something they have to account for, and also may make them actually more difficult to break down due to the narrowness of the pitch itself. Our team all about pragmatism and making results at this stage of the season. The more difficult conditions doesn't exactly concern Coach Sawatsky as much as it would for a team chasing points. Well, Shello, a rare error, and he loses that out of play for the match's first corner, presented by Medella. Union Omaha fans know this very well. The more corners you get, the more times you hear the sponsor. It will be Joe Gallardo to take. Corner kick presented by Medella. There are a number of set-piece threats for Omaha, notably number 10 in black. It's an outswinger. Comes towards Dos Santos. An excellent stop in the end from Shello. Early action already for Omaha. And it is the big 6'4" body in the middle causing havoc. Well, there is Ryan Shello. Has split time with Pablo Jara between the sticks this season. Someone who has impressed Darren Sawatsky. See this outswinger. Dos Santos heads this into the deck, into the turf, and it draws Shello into action. It's like it took an awkward hop. And the second Medella corner kick in as many minutes. This one is an in-swinger. Comes loose out of play. Rather harmlessly for an Omaha throw. Well, a fast start for Omaha, and that's to be expected. A team with nothing more than 3 points on its mind, especially at home, where they've been so tough to play all season. Dos Santos goes down in the area. It nearly fell for Gallardo. Cleared only as far as Luca Mastrantonio, the director of the Department of Defense back there. In the heart of that back three. Spraying it wide to Akoff, who runs out of real estate. Well, your officials tonight, Wesley Costa, the lead official, Eric Del Rosario Gandara, the assistant, alongside Nathan Coling, Drew Klemp, the fourth official tonight. A lovely night in Omaha. It is 85 degrees and partly cloudy. It's 7 p.m. local kickoff, and they're, of course, on Central Time. And the fans still filing into Werner Park. A very large facility for the league standards. There's some slippage, and it finds the back of the net. A brutal mistake from Shello, and Brandon Knapp the beneficiary. 1-0 Omaha inside 5 minutes. A first career goal for Brandon Knapp. Well, there were some early mistakes from Shello, and at the second time of asking, he pays the price. Routine back pass, and you see him just lose his footing here on the return ball. And that gives Knapp the time he needs to just get his foot in the mix. And Omaha in front. Early calamities for Richmond. Early joy for Los Bujos. You have to feel for Shello here. Just doesn't give himself enough time to recover. And Brandon Knapp celebrates like he's won the World Cup. Goal presented by the Nebraska Lottery. 5 minutes in, Brandon Knapp opening the scoring. Well, so much for pragmatism. If you're Richmond, you have to throw caution to the wind now. Darren Sawatsky said it himself. We have very narrow margin for error. Any defeats over these final 7 games puts us in a very perilous position, especially being 4 points off playoff pace. That will surely open things up now. Usuko, the man who played the back pass. Not his fault. Shello lost his footing, and that's what has cost Richmond early. Kickoff hunting more carnage. Dos Santos cutting it across. Jonathan recovering confidently in the end. And Richmond still can't quite find their footing yet. They look shell-shocked. So far, perfect performance from Omaha. Richmond chasing shadows at the minute. It's finally won back by Billhart. Vinyals. He is the creative 10 that makes everything tick. This is Chandler O'Dwyer, the 2 wingers we spotlighted off the top. If you're just joining us, it has been blink and you'll miss it action. A back pass from Justin Suko. As Ryan Shello was losing his footing, allows Knapp to open the scoring in the 5th minute for Union Omaha. Just bared down on goal in the press and clattered it into the back of the net. And that's where we find ourselves, a Richmond team that came into tonight intending to play conservatively and pragmatically. They can no longer do that if they hope to salvage something. Dream start if you're Omaha. It'll make things a lot more approachable going forward on a tighter pitch. Dakota Barnathan. Quite on the same wavelength as O'Dwyer there. Start of dreams if you're the Omaha Parliament, which always shows out in full force. Tonight, no different. A beautiful night in Papillion. A venue that has become a fortress in many regards for Omaha over the course of the last 2 years. Of course, the season ending in somewhat unfortunate fashion here on penalty kicks in the semifinals against Charlotte last year. But this is a team that has been very difficult to defeat in general, let alone on its own patch. Even harder to overcome deficits against. Progressive run forward. Charlie Ostrom. He lost his footing in the penalty area and committed a foul shortly thereafter. Well, there is Dom Casciato, his second season at the helm for Union Omaha. What a first year it was. Won them the Players' Shield title, and even though it ended in fashion that was short of their ultimate goal, he was very proud of the identity he established. Whenever you talk to Dom Casciato, the number one thing he mentions is we want to have a clearly defined, recognizable style of play. He has done a phenomenal job implementing that and has established himself as one of the best tacticians in all of USL League One. And the results speak for themselves. Once again in contention for that Players' Shield title. On the other side of things, Darren Sawatsky has a Players' Shield title in his arsenal. It came in 2022. Since then, it has been a rebuilding effort, trying to build his team back into a postseason outfit after they fell short of the top 6 a season ago. This year, those aspirations sit in legitimate peril, especially given the scoreline at the minute. Still plenty of time, though, for his side to kick on and put themselves back on a level playing field. That is a loose challenge from Moran, and he is the first man in the book tonight. Norte took the worst of this. It's a 50-50, and he wins the foot race, and anytime you go studs up there, you risk the consequences. Moran receives the yellow card that time. Early on, they still seem a little shaky at the minute. Yellow cards presented by Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Sure all of the attendees there watching the match tonight will be very pleased with the opening 10 minutes. Knapp, the goal scorer. Lewis, he bashed one from afar, trying to catch Shello out. Doesn't quite do the job there. Zico Lewis, good to see him in the 11. A man who established his trade for so long in the USL Championship. And over the course of the last few seasons, was a true dynamic winger. He's taken time to get up to speed here with Omaha. It's such a deep squad, but he gets his opportunity this evening. Gallardo, already at the center of everything. It's laid off to Ostrom. His cross created havoc, but didn't do much more than that. Ostrom's been involved early. It's clever work from Lewis to shield off Simon Fitch. Does this cross take a deflection? Here's the referee says no. A rare touch of the ball from Rashid Newby. Has been a spectator here in the opening quarter of an hour. I'm sure that's the way Omaha prefers it, even though he is sensational. This is Ostrom. A terrific overlap. He's looking through to Dos Santos. And the ball in didn't quite have enough velocity to it. Either way, another corner on the way for Los Bujos. Corner kick presented by Modelo, the third of the night for Union Omaha as the tracker continues to tick upward. You think the fans know? Gallardo with the third of 3 attempts. In-swinger this time. Stabbed away by Nathan Awney, experienced defender for Richmond. Cleverly won by Ostrom. Vignal swipes it back. This is Bilhart in space. Vignals looking through to Terzaghi. Played the ball a beat late for the Starman's liking. There's the first involvement from Rashid Nuhu, the longest tenured Union Omaha player. Someone who was a back-to-back Gold Glove winner in 2021 and 2022. This season, though, Dom Casciato feels like he's at the peak of his powers. It is a stacked goalkeeping room. Wallace Lapsley, a more than capable goalkeeper who has excelled in the Jägermeister Cup. But at the end of the day, Dom Casciato was clear. He says, I feel like any keeper in the league would play behind Rashid Nuhu, and he has the pedigree to prove it. Bilhart cutting inside, and he nearly picking out the far corner. It was a lovely strike, and one that may have had Nuhu beaten. This is where Bilhart's at his best. Cuts inside on his left foot, has plenty of whip to it, just whistling beyond the far post. Perhaps a warning shot across the bow from Richmond. Here is Knapp. Squirting it wide to Blake Malone. Akoff. Plenty of room to cross this in. It's a progressive ball. Man down in the box. An immediate point to the spot. Textbook. Gallardo appeared through. And Justin Suko is booked for his troubles. Early on, Omaha with a chance to potentially put Richmond to the sword. It's terrific interplay. See Akoff looking to pick out Gallardo, who's wrong-footing Suko. It's the shove in the back which draws the referee's ire. It's pretty textbook. Maybe Gallardo makes a meal of it, but it is illicit contact nonetheless. Omaha could really snatch control of things here from 12 yards. That is the former Querétaro man, Joe Gallardo, who stares down Ryan Shella from 12 yards. Former Richmond kicker himself. Huge inflection point in this match. And Gallardo delivers. Omaha's double its advantage. And a 5-star start for Los Bujos. It's Gallardo with his third of the year, and Omaha in dreamland early. 20 minutes in, it's 2-0 Omaha. This is a textbook penalty. Shello guesses the right way, but Gallardo hits it with plenty of power and perfect placement, nestles it into the bottom left. And just like that, Union Omaha with 2 goals inside 20 minutes. A dream start for Omaha. Joe Gallardo, the 26-year-olds, making no mistakes from the spot. Just like that, Richmond's playoff hopes seem to be slipping once more. Gallardo, a man in his second season with Los Buhos, a terrific 5-goal campaign last year. Someone who was a first-team All-League selection with Richmond 2 years back. Hart is hunting the reply. Lays it off. Took an awkward deflection. And it went out for a basic goal kick. Well, it appears the referee has overruled things here because it'll be a corner for Richmond. Much needed. Their first of the night. Very little brewing in the final third just yet. In-swinger from Bill Hart. Takes a deflection. It appears we may run it back one more time from the same spot. He's been the most lively of the kickers, wingers tonight. This is barely beyond the first defender, and the follow-up effort will not trouble Nubu. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Well, over 20 minutes gone from Warner Park, and it has been nothing short of a perfect start for Union Omaha. Brendan Knapp opening the scoring in the 5th minute, and moments ago, Joe Gallardo doubling the advantage from the penalty spot in the 19th. Omaha has rarely given Richmond life in possession, and it is the performance of aspiring champions, to say the least. Where Richmond intended to approach things with both pragmatism and defensive solidity, according to Darren Sawatsky in our pre-match call this week. Here's the game plan is unraveled before they could even properly develop their counter-attacking schemes. That's what makes Omaha so difficult to match up with. Everyone has a game plan until you get popped in the mouth. Omaha usually throws the haymakers early and often. Back pass, it nearly fell for Dos Santos, who went down in the box, and this is simulation. Perhaps the easiest decision the referee will have to make tonight. It was a minor bit of contact, and Dos Santos tried to sell it aplenty. Instead, he is the man that pays the price in the referee's book. You see here, another errant back pass, and Shello can't corral this one. There is almost no contact there. It is a slight pair of gloves to the back. And Dos Santos entering the book for his troubles. First Omaha man to be booked tonight. Long throw here from Nathan Awney. Plunges into the area. It falls for Terzaghi, only momentarily, and stabbed away pretty comfortably by Marco Milanese. Zaka Moran. This is Vinyals. He's almost had no room to operate tonight going forward. Well, so far, Omaha in dreamland. It's been a performance where up through the second goal they've dominated possession, and which makes things all the more positive if you're an Omaha supporter, is that this Richmond team is better as a counter-attacking outfit. There's numerous chatter throughout the fan base and beyond about their struggles to break teams down, and Darren Sawatsky himself has discussed the frustration with the lack of finishing as the team that opts as the aggressor. Now find themselves in a position where they have to chase against an Omaha team with so many weapons the other direction. It is not a favorable match script in any respect if you're Darren Sawatsky and the Richmond Kickers. It is an unfortunate start for a team that appeared up for it heading into the match week and had grinded out a pretty notable 1-1 draw against Greenville on the road last weekend in a very hard-fought performance. Started very positively and ultimately had to settle for a point after Sierakowski opened the scoring. Lewis driving it from afar. This is just beyond the far post. In that match, Darren Sawatsky was pleased with their early effort, created a number of key opportunities, and he felt potentially should have been up by multiple goals before the break. Ultimately, though, had to settle for the one. Were pegged back before intermission and ultimately just took a point from it. That display prompted some optimism heading into a fixture like this one. Optimism was swiftly snatched by Los Pujos. Dwyer. Comes to Neil Vinyals with plenty of room to operate. Handing it off now to Simon Fitch, one of the more dynamic right backs in this league. Bill Hart. Tipped over the top. Unable to latch onto it, only as far as Dakota Barnathan. Around the 30-minute mark, Richmond beginning to ask some questions. This is Barnathan. Looking for Terzaghi. It fell briefly. And still Terzaghi. No way through just yet for the Kickers. This Omaha back line becomes so tough to permeate, especially when they secure early leads like this one. They can easily drop into what resembles a 5-back and clog the already narrow final third layout. It's going to make things difficult for Richmond, no doubt. It'll take precision and clinical finishing. Bill Hart, and now Fitch. Patched away for a Richmond throw. Tremonti, claimed authoritatively by Nuhu. Rashid Nuhu has been a star wherever he's gone. Someone who began his career with the New York Red Bulls' second team, the USL Championship back in the day. Kept a clean sheet in Omaha's only League One title victory in 2021. Even at Fordham, was one of the best goalkeepers in the Atlantic 10. Here's Bill Hart. He's cleared only as far as Moran. Vinyals narrowly missing that near post. Drew Nuhu in action. There's some snapshots materializing now for Richmond. Excellent effort here from Moran to win it back. Nobody is able to close down Vinyals in time. Perhaps fortunate that that didn't sneak inside the near post, as it would have been a difficult ask for Nuhu to reach it. "30 minutes gone. Brandon Knapp and Joe Gallardo striking inside the opening 20 minutes. That is currently what separates the two sides. That man has been a spectator for large spells, but Richmond beginning to test him between the sticks a bit more over these last 10 minutes or so, as a hydration break takes center stage here from Warner Park. Well, what a start it has been for Union Omaha. They put Richmond to the sword early, and they have not taken their feet off the gas. A pair of goals inside 20 minutes, placing them in the driver's seat. As you see Darren Sawatsky imploring his side to regroup. A team that came in with the intention of making things as difficult as possible in the final third, and now has found itself as a team that must adopt the role of aggressor to secure anything from this match tonight. Let's take a look at what does separate the two teams. We pick it up early in the 5th minute. It was a sequence of back passes between Justin Suko and Ryan Shello. It is the second back pass here. Ryan Shello loses his footing, and Suko's unable to, bridge out of the pass. That allows Knapp to bear through on goal, just get a touch to it for his first career tally. A dream start inside 5 minutes. Then Deanna Akoff playing this into the penalty area. Gallardo a shove in the back from Suko, and that sets him up from 12 yards in the 19th minute. Perfect power and placement on this. Shello guesses the right way, but still has no chance at it. And Omaha with a pair of strikes, putting them in prime position to surge up the table tonight. Still an hour to go, but you'd figure that man is overjoyed with what he's seen on the pitch so far. Omaha taking its 2 best chances of the night and not looking back. And given these struggles entering that Central Valley match the last time out 15 days ago, there were concerns about Omaha's finishing ability. The goals had kind of waxed and waned over the course of the season. And Dom Casciato himself said that Fuego match early on was frustrating for a number of reasons. They created so many glaring opportunities and lacked the clinical touch to take the early lead. It was Dos Santos that bailed them out at the death for the 3 points in the 96th minute. And it seems to have shaken off the ring rust in front of goal. Terzaghi bundled over, and Richmond with a free kick. Fans can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Richmond with their first proper appetizing set piece tonight. And there are few men you would want on it more than this man, Neil Vinyals, the all-time leader in goals outside the box. He chips this towards the back post. Sprung free for Bill Hart. Stabbed away confidently, though. Bill Hart will not touch that in an offside position. rapidly approaching the business end of things in this first half. And if Omaha can break through with a third, you would figure the points are all but sealed. Richmond is pushing on, looking to make it a match before the break. Akoff, a streaking run down the near side. It's cleared out to Vinyals' feet, who's progressively grown into this. Dwyer loses out. It's Norte. Press overwhelming those Richmond center backs at the minute. That was expected. Darren Sawatsky mentioned how difficult it can be to play through that front line of Omaha, especially when they cede possession in the final third. That was what ultimately amounted to the first goal. Press and repress for Omaha, a fixture of Dom Casciato's system, one which has revolutionized USL League One in its 2 seasons of effect. Vinyals. Fitch. Marauding underlap. Bill Hart loses out. Falls to Zico Lewis. And plenty of room for Gallardo on the break. It's still Gallardo. Cut back to Dos Santos. And what a stop it was from Shello. Follow-up effort was also neutralized. Ryan Shello keeping Richmond afloat for the time being. That had all of the markings of a third for Omaha. What a chance that was moments ago for Union Omaha. Joe Gallardo creating everything. Dos Santos just unable to outwit Shello. You get another look here. What a ball this is from Lewis, switching the play to perfection. It's a simple 2-on-1. Cut back here to Dos Santos. Hits it first time. The second time of asking, you would have fancied him to do a bit better. An excellent stop from Shello to at least keep Richmond competitive in things. Because a third would have had the feeling of a killer blow. Night for the reigning all-league second-teamer Dion Akoff. Supplied the ball that led to the penalty. He's been so effective in that wing-back role this season. Despite being more of a natural out-and-out fullback, it's been very impressive for Omaha this season. He wins it back again here, and the referee says play on. Committing the transgression. And it appears Guy Franca is still slow to get up. It is actually Barnathan who is prone on the pitch at the moment. Took the worst of that 50-50 challenge. A long ball here, trying to get Akoff involved. Yep, Barnathan comes off worse for wear. Seems content to continue, up to his feet rather quickly, although there's some blood on his chin at the minute. may have a battle scar tomorrow morning to show for it. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. 40 minutes gone here from Werner Park. It has still been dominated by Omaha. A potential third goal wiped away by an excellent Ryan Cello save. That's been about the only thing that's gone right for Richmond at the back in these first 40 minutes. A tough night here in the first half for Darren Sawatsky's bunch, but time to add a layer of drama if they can steal one before the break. Terzaghi seems intent on doing that, and driven low into the path of Rashid Nero. Unfazed. It's what's made him one of the league's best, if not the league's best goalkeeper. Ostrom. Plenty of room to whip it across. Darts inside, towards the back stick. Just over the head of Joe Gallardo in the end. Another promising break, though, for Los Pujos. Credit to him. Ryan Cello sat in there, a man under fire tonight, and has done his best with the cards he's been dealt. Excellent stop moments ago. Lewis, tugged down by Nathan Awney. It's a lively night here at Werner Park. I mentioned the Omaha Parliament, one of the best supporters groups in the league, for a team that has established itself as a legacy club in the competition, despite being in just its 5th competitive professional season. Already a star above the crest coming in 2021, and they defeated Greenville on this very ground 3 years ago. Since then, the aspiration has been to get back to the final. Tom Casciato's side hopes this year is the year. For Richmond, 2 years ago, they had the same aspirations on their mind and came up around short after being upset by Chattanooga at City Stadium. For Darren Sawatsky, it's been about building to get back there, and this year, an epidemic of injuries has hampered the availability of so many of their key talents. Notably, Emiliano Terzaghi, who missed the first 3 months of the campaign with a thumb injury, hand injury, I should say. Still awaiting the anticipated return of Tony Pineda, who is a young winger out of High Point they're extremely excited about. Has been part of the explanation for their struggles going forward. Or finishing struggles, I should say. Gallardo to deliver this into the corridor of uncertainty. Final minute of the initial 45. You would figure there will be some time tacked on. It's a floated ball towards the edge of the area. Not only as far as Ostrom. Flicked along, brilliantly done. Dos Santos bundled over in the box, and somehow no whistle from the referee. It was scintillating interplay that was stymied at the very end. Richmond perhaps bailed out by the officials. Suko shrugged off it by Ankov. This is Neil Vinyals. Dinking it into the path of O'Dwyer, and the flag was up before Billhart could bash that in. Well, here is the penalty appeal from Omaha. Unbelievable interplay here. You see this just ushered along by Milanese in a Norte-Norte's path. Cut back. There is marginal contact there between Franca and Dos Santos, but at the second time of watching, does appear more incidental than the initial play seemed to illuminate. It will still be a question Dom Casciato and company ask of the referees at intermission, though. It's 4 minutes of added time. As things stand, it's been a half. All of the home fans in attendance will relish during intermission. Vinyals' flick on. Falls for Billhart. Loose pass towards Terzaghi. Knapp running onto it. Well, tonight there were questions about Omaha's midfield. Remember, Pedro Dolabella serving the second of a 2-match suspension tonight for violent conduct against forward Madison in the last league match on August 3rd. As well, with Max Schneider returning to Indy 11, being recalled from his loan. It has made for a quarter of moving parts for Dom Casciato. But Brendan Knapp has slotted in alongside Norte excellently. Of course, a goal to reward his efforts as well. It's the depth of Omaha, which has stuck out all season. Gallardo arcing this towards the back stick, and Ostrom is unable to keep that in play. We are now in the final minute of the added 4. A 45 minutes to remember and build on for Omaha. Perhaps a 45 minutes to forget quickly if you're Richmond. Although there was some semblances of late promise from the visitors in the final quarter of an hour of this block. Spreading it wide. It sits up well for Ostrom. Time for one final foray forward for Omaha. That is ultimately cut out quickly. Now, laying it off to Gallardo. It's brought down outside the area. Official is unmoved. There is the halftime whistle. dominant from Union Omaha. 2 goals in the opening 20 minutes and them a 2-0 advantage entering intermission. Brendan Knapp opening the scoring after the Ryan Shello slip at the back. And then Joe Gallardo making no mistake from the penalty spot in the 19th. It has put Omaha in the driver's seat as they continue to make their push towards the top of the table tonight. For Richmond, it is about regrouping. 2-0 at halftime, presented by Courtyard by Marriott. As things stand, the hosts, the more thrilled of the two sides. Los Pujos lead as we head into this quick breather. Stick with us here on ESPN Plus. We will bring you a look around the league when we return here from Omaha.
Center back for Union Omaha.
Center back for Union Omaha.
Goalkeeper.
So when I first got to Union Omaha, I found out that the USL and Union Omaha have a very close relationship with Bellevue University because they provide me the opportunity to extend my education and further my ability to seek out knowledge.
I chose Bellevue University to pursue my education because it provided a convenient way to both manage my career as a professional player, but also continue to pursue my academic interests and pursuits.
Getting a degree will be just open up a bunch of doors for me that I didn't have before. A college degree is still very powerful at this time, and it means a lot to show that you have the dedication to stick out a plan through college while I'm pursuing professional soccer, and I think that will show a lot.
How was your experience on the beginner course?
Light work, you know, this is normal for me.
All right, dear Tarzan.
Talk to me.
Big time!
Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, come on, Vinny. Come on, Vinny.
Oh,
Bro, I was about to go, bro.
wow, crazy video here, boys.
We welcome you back to Papillion, Nebraska, where Union Omaha holds a 2-0 advantage over Richmond Kickers after 45 minutes. The halftime show presented by Courtyard by Marriott. Well, it was a busy match week 17 in USL League One. Let's take a look at some of the standout moments from those matches right here on ESPN Plus.
Turnover for Lexington. Cam Lancaster takes a drive, and that one finds its way through.
Goal scored by Lexington.
Cam Lancaster opens up the scoring 4 minutes in. As we mentioned earlier, all night. Also got a yellow early on as well. Long range try finds its way through again. Set pieces as well. Lancaster goes for net, and that was stopped by Avalos. Rebound, scores!
Goal scored by
Alexis Cerritos, he comes back to Central Valley. 8 minutes to go in regulation. Glance off the wall, and that one finds its way through for Central Valley. They get their first off of the set piece. Jose Carrera Garcia off of the service.
Returned right back out to him. Vigneault's service curling in. Still in the fray of things, and it's in the back of the net. Ryan Sierakowski on his back. There's some tight passing. This one slips through for Velasquez, and it's into the back of the net. And look who it is. The answer has been called.
Taken quickly into Tequila. Tequila has a go and finds Pater. On the front foot, Jordan Skelton. Tequila. Zaracosta! Tequila without swing. Toward goal, knocked down on the line, and a point to the spot. It's a handball. A reach for the back pocket, and it's a nightmare for Chattanooga. Tequila. Oh, that's cheeky. Circulating play back into the feet of Leopoldo Hernandez. A good ball in. Shots flared towards goal and somehow trickles in.
Dimmitt pops this one inside. Belmar saved. Bert Shipman sprawling out for that one. Here's a moment right here. Gebhard takes the shot himself, but couldn't quite pick a side. Austin Pack didn't have to shift for that one.
It's Ethan Horde bearing through on goal. A number of black shirts in the area. Goes down. Hernandez drives it home. Northern Colorado down a man, up a goal. As the super sub strikes once again. Thorne, one final cross. Floated into the heart of the area. It falls for Killwine, darts it across, and it did cross the line. Tormenta finds the equalizer. Welcome you back to Werner Park, where Union Omaha holds a 2-0 lead over Richmond Kickers at halftime. Halftime show presented by Omaha La Vista Courtyard by Marriott. Well, let's take a look around USL League One. It has been a busy week as always as we approach the home stretch of the 2024 season, with August slowly being ushered out into September. Well, the USL Super League kicked off last week. Carolina Ascent and Spokane Zephyr sold out their stadiums. Of course, Carolina playing at American Legion where the Charlotte Independents play. They packed the place for their 1-0 victory. As well, AV Alta renovating a stadium. It's going to be 5,300 seats and soccer specific. That has been approved by the City Council. And how about Kempis Tequila, the League One Player of the Week last week with 2 goals and 1 assist. And speaking of that Team of the Week, let's take a look at the 11 players that stood out in match week 17. You see Kempis Tequila, the Player of the Week. You go further down, the duo for Lexington of Alexis Cerritos and Ates Diouf included. Don't have any representatives here for this game, as Omaha did not play last week. Richmond does not have anyone selected. Austin Pack was the standout performer between the sticks. Himself and Anton Sorensen, the 2 Team of the Week selections for Charlotte. Darren Powell named Coach of the Week as well. Speaking of the league, let's take a look at the standings. We mentioned this was a big match for a number of reasons. Union Omaha currently sitting second if this result holds. They stand there on 26 points. Meanwhile, Richmond, they are now still 4 points off postseason pace if the result holds. Remember, a win brings them right back into playoff contention, and they only have 6 matches remaining after this one. So it is not a lot of margin for error for Darren Suwowski's bunch. That's your look around the league. Still a half to play to determine how these standings shake out. Stick with us when we return. First half stats and highlights from Papillion next.
We are Myrtle and Cypress Coffee House. We're located in the heart of Gifford Park neighborhood in Midtown, Omaha. The idea behind the coffee shop came out of the neighborhood's expressed desire for a place for people to gather. From being rooted in our neighborhood, to choosing ingredients and processes that nourish, to supporting coffee growers and their communities, Myrtle and Cypress connects you to Union Omaha's beautiful motto, one means all.
everyone, welcome to Power One. We'll swim through some foundational postures in this class. It is always the exact same class. If you're looking to spice things up, we do offer 1.5s, which are heated to 92 degrees, and Power 2s, which are at 99. Our 1.5s and 2s will be different sequences each time and will challenge you in fresh new ways.
Hot yoga is an all levels class, so it's perfect for beginners, or maybe you've come 100 different times. Either way, you're gonna find something for you in this class. We'll move through 34 different postures and hold each for about 3 to 5 breaths. The room is heated to 99 degrees and class is 60 minutes.
We are back in Papillion, Nebraska, where Union Omaha holds a 2-0 lead over Richmond Kickers at halftime. The halftime show presented by Omaha La Vista Courtyard by Marriott. Well, it was an eventful 45 minutes. The men in the home blacks with yellow numbers will be happier with what just transpired. Let's take a look at the standout moments which have led us to this point in the matchup. Well, it began fast for Omaha, and after the two teams got us underway on the kickoff, from there, it was pretty much pedal to the metal for Los Bujos. A number of early corners, Dos Santos heading this into the turf and drawing an early save from Shello. And then he just slips here, and this is where the floodgates and the wheels begin to come off the bus. Whatever analogy you want, you can use it. He just slips, it gives Knapp the time to recover, and Brandon Knapp deflecting it into the back of the net for his first career goal. It's that slip which buys Knapp the time to get his boot in the mix, and nothing Ryan Shello could do from there. It was 1-0 Omaha inside 5 minutes, and the hosts were in dreamland. But the pressure did not stop there for Los Bujos. There were some chances from Richmond. Bill Hart with this opportunity that just evaded the far post. And then the penalty in the 19th minute. Gallardo bundled over. Perfect placement and perfect power on this penalty, just slotting it into the bottom left. And that put Omaha 2-0 in front inside 20 minutes. It became a physical battle between the 90s from there. Omaha could have made it 3-0. Gallardo cut this back to Dos Santos. It was a heroic stop from Ryan Shello, which at least has kept Richmond afloat in this match. You get your look at the stats. Remember, a lot of these numbers for Richmond coming after Omaha took the 2-0 lead, but Richmond dominating the possession, especially after the 20-minute mark. Omaha a slight edge in shots and a significant edge in shots on goal. A physical affair as well. 2 yellow cards, both on the holding midfield duo of the Richmond Kickers, Suko and Moran. The lone yellow to Dos Santos for diving in an attempt to win a second penalty kick around the 30-minute threshold. It's safe to say, looking at the numbers, Richmond has chased the match effectively since going down 2-0, but Omaha has proven very difficult to break down, and in those first 20 minutes, they were untouchable. The Kickers chasing ghosts in midfield for the early stages of that one. All the fans still out in full force. The Omaha Parliament enjoying life. Also, if not mistaken, that appears to be the Florida Atlantic men's soccer team. They have the winning in paradise mantra across their chests. Yes, that is Florida Atlantic. They are out playing the drums with the Omaha Parliament. How about that? It is a communal event in Papillion tonight, and good to see the lads from FAU out in full force this evening. He's got the Omaha Parliament flag as well. Everyone amongst it tonight here in Papillion. We are awaiting the referee's signal to get things back underway. It's been a terrific turnout tonight at Werner Park, which doubles as a baseball diamond as well, where the Omaha Storm Chasers also have played in AAA, the affiliate of the Kansas City Royals, I believe. Omaha returning to the pitch, getting ready to get things underway. That man was the standout of the first half. Neil Vignoles grew into the match as it progressed. Still looking to make his final third impact felt. He's the league's top chance creator. Things didn't necessarily come off for him and the remainder of that front four for Richmond, hoping for better here in the second half. Omaha a bit slow to return to the pitch. By the way, for your information, that Florida Atlantic team played against Creighton this week. That's why they are in Omaha tonight. Glad to see they are getting amongst the crowd as well. It's been a busy week in America on the soccer front. Of course, the USL raging in full force, as is all of the major professional leagues. And then college soccer starting back up as well. Many of these standout players, of course, playing in the college ranks and making their names there. Omaha gets us back underway here from Warner Park. 45 minutes to see things out and grab a much-needed 3 points to return to winning ways in league play. For Richmond, it is about causing pressure early and finding an early goal to make this a game late. Otherwise, their postseason hopes become that much more troubled. A Richmond team that, over the course of its extensive history, rarely misses the playoffs. It's been a legacy club in American soccer. A club that has been alive now for 31 consecutive seasons, the joint longest consecutively running American soccer club in the country. Knotted with former heated rivals Charleston Battery, who now make their trade in the USL Championship. Of course, since Richmond moved down to League One, that ferocity hasn't quite been replicated. Although they found their own rival in forward Madison. Here's Akoff's cross. Knotted away. Norte wins the throw for Omaha. It's a Richmond team that has a proud history of trophies as well. They became the first and only fourth-tier side to win the U.S. Open Cup in 1995. They won it in the first year with pro teams in the mix. The crowning achievement of a Richmond team that has regularly competed at the top of whatever league it's been a member of. Play at the iconic hallmark of City Stadium, which has treated them well over the years. It's a team with tremendous communal support of its own, especially when the Henny Derby rolls around and Forward Madison comes to town. Omaha has a solid support base too. It's two of the more beloved and dominant clubs in the short history of USL League One. Both with player shields in their trophy cases. Here's Joe Gallardo, one of Omaha's 2 goals tonight from the penalty spot. It's an enticing cross that is stabbed away beyond the reach of Charlie Ostrom. Bill Hart wheeling away from trouble in the process. Adrian Bill Hart had his moments in that first half, perhaps Richmond's best chance. A matter of moments after conceding the opener. Saw his influence wane, though, over the course of the opening 45 minutes, especially with less room to counter and Richmond having to adopt the role as aggressor to try and break down Omaha. It's made the spaces a lot more cramped for him on the far side tonight. Vinyals has benefited from that extensive possession, though. Here is Bill Hart. For Zico Lewis, the former Charleston Battery standout. Darted into the path of Bill Hart, runs out of room on the near flank. She knew who? A relatively calm first half, which I'm sure is how he prefers it. made a couple of necessary interventions towards the tail end of the opening 45, and there were a couple heart and throat moments on decent long-range efforts, but nothing that has properly troubled him yet. Terzagi's brought down in the area here. The appeals waved away authoritatively by the referee. Now both sides with a promising penalty appeal rejected. What a lifeline that could have been for Richmond. There is the new addition, Charlie Ostrom, a 24-year-old who joined the club on July 30th from the New Zealand amateur ranks. Someone who began his career in Chicago, though, with the Fire organization. Settled in nicely for Dom Casciano's bunch. Cross comes in for Bill Hart. Milanese dashing it clear. Talking to Dom Casciano about the Fuego match last week. He raved about Charlie Ostrom's unsung impact. Made his debut and went the full 90. This is his first league start and has provided similar width and played a big role in a number of chances and half chances that have fallen across Omaha's plate tonight. Here he is again. Not quite on the same wavelength as Dos Santos there. One back though by Knapp. Has enjoyed a monumental night for his career. Vinyals. This is Guy Franca. There's been one change for Richmond at the break. Two, excuse me. Chandler O'Dwyer being replaced by Ryan Sierakowski, and Justin Suko making way for Max Schenfeld. So a pair of changes in midfield. Schenfeld may be being deployed further up the pitch. Fans, a USL League One matchup kicks off September coverage on the CBS Sports Network. Players Shield Union Omaha visits newcomer Spokane Velocity FC in their first ever regular season clash, September 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Terzagi's brought down here, and it is a very inviting set piece position for Richmond. Back to those subs. Schenfeld on for O'Dwyer. Sierakowski on for Suko. It's a dangling boot here from Milanese, which draws the referee's ire. He's clearly not thrilled about it, though. This is a well within both Schenfeld and Vinyals' range. We mentioned earlier, Vinyals a knack for set pieces like these. Leads the league with goals scored from outside the penalty area in league history. It is Vinyals to take a low driving effort, ultimately parried away by Rashid Nuhu, who looked unaffected by the ferocity of that effort. It is not a bad set piece in any respect. It's low, it has some dip. Nuhu probably sees this late. Perhaps Vinyals would have been hoping for more altitude. But Nuhu made it look relatively routine. Does have a bobble with that. He may have taken the worst of that challenge as well. It's a coming together, it appears, between Terzaghi and Nuhu. Another look here. It's the patented Nathan Awney long throw. We've seen that a number of times tonight. Nuhu bobbles it. And then it's the boot from Terzaghi late trying to pop it free, which may have clattered right into Rashid Nuhu's shin. Good to see him content to continue. Appears he wanted more than a talking to from the official there. Sierakowski's first proper touch of the night. He's the man who opened the scoring with his incredible bicycle kick against Greenville last week. Was awarded the goal of the week on Tuesday afternoon. He's been a journeyman throughout the league. It's a loose back pass, and Bill Hart somehow unable to finish. Lost just yet. Here's Terzaghi, and Fitch with the heavy touch. Vinyals into the path of Simon Fitch. Excellent intervention from Milanese. Falls now for Bill Hart, the man who had the chance moments ago. Nuhu finally able to collect. This was glaring. A rare miscue from the Omaha back line, and Bill Hart unable to punish them. See, this comes right to Charlie Ostrom. This is the first foot he's put wrong. Doesn't put enough weight on this pass. And Bill Hart can't quite wrap it around the gloves of Nuhu. How that could have changed the plot tonight. Dos Santos. And this is Ostrom, surging in space towards the back stick. No one there to greet it. Sierakowski. Busy night in USL League One. Many concerned interests at play, including Omaha's in a number of different matches, including this one, of course. Here's Vinyals, cuts this back just beyond the reach of Emiliano Terzaghi. You look at the other teams in action tonight. Omaha cannot go top tonight due to Charlotte's 4-0 thrashing of Central Valley. That errant back pass goes out for a Richmond corner. Also Lexington and Madison drawing. So for the playoff hunt, maybe that adds a wrinkle in things for Richmond, who now find themselves behind Chattanooga and Lexington on points. 11th of 12 places. Still gridlocked though. Here's the in-swinger from Vinyals. It is towards Fitch at the back stick. Bill Hart in space. And still Adrian Bill Hart. Excellent intervention from Milanese. And finally at the back stick, bashed out of play by Nathan Awney. Richmond continuing to twist the screws. That had Nuhu moving every way from Sunday. Bill Hart once again, really decent opportunity at point blank range, but this time Milanese is there to put him off. And this ball to the back post at least causes chaos, but Awney can't keep it down. Another corner results. Bill Hart to deliver this time. Taken short. Still with Adrian Bill Hart. Into the danger area, and it's just headed wide. A thicket of white shirts were waiting. Just nodded beyond the far post. See Bill Hart cut onto that left foot. It appears it contacted Guy Franca's head in the end. Just looped beyond the back stick. Richmond, though, began beginning to cause some trouble at the hour mark. Perhaps the extended period out of possession taking its toll on Omaha's back three. Knapp. Lone is unable to latch onto the return ball. If you're just joining us, a incredible start for Union Omaha has them in this position. 2 goals in the opening 20 minutes by Brandon Knapp and Joe Gallardo from the penalty spot. They've had opportunities to grab a third, but here in the second half, it has been Richmond, the more progressive of the two sides. Had a multitude of opportunities to at least half the deficit. So far, though, all of them have been squandered. Omaha with decent position for this set piece. It's Gallardo and Zico Lewis standing over it. Both of whom have logged solid performances to date. It's Gallardo now on his lonesome. Towards the heart of the area. Shello can only punch it away. And the late challenge from Ostrom draws the ire of the referee. There is Ryan Shello. And making his 3rd consecutive start in all competitions tonight. It's been a constant trade-off between himself and Pablo Jara, and when talking to Darren Sawatsky, with each passing week, the script remains the same. We are still determining who is better week by week. 2 players with differing skill sets, both of whom have been through their ups and downs this year. Gallardo will be booked for booting that away after the whistle. Second Omaha man booked tonight. Well, if you are Darren Sawatsky, you've got to wonder what the halftime message was. Because there's been more urgency going forward. They've certainly played more directly. And Vinyals has been the man pulling the strings, as he does here. Can't quite link with Fitch on the near flank. Hearing word that Richmond is readying a sub, it'll be Landon Johnson, the youngster who signed his first professional deal this week. He's going to replace Saka Moran. Subs presented by Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Johnson, 17 years of age, joined the club last year on an academy contract from the Atlanta United Academy and started sporadically. He's enjoyed an extensive run now off the bench the last month or so. He's provided plenty of promise on the flanks for Richmond. Moves the ball towards Dos Santos, who manages to keep it in play. Ostrom. Arcing ball towards Lewis. It nearly fell for him. Took a fortuitous hop into the gloves of Shello. Bill Hart. Marauding run forward and linking well with Johnson. Bill Hart cutting it across, evading the reach of Emiliano Terzaghi. Still trying to rediscover his footing after missing considerable time with that long-term injury he sustained last September. It's been an ongoing story for Richmond. Every time it seems they're getting up to full strength, a key piece goes down. It's been the unfortunate reality for the Kickers. Johnson does do enough to win his side of corner. Omaha is getting set to make a change. Milanese booked for his outburst after that official's decision. Third Omaha men in the book, all of whom remain on the pitch at the minute. They are readying a change though, and it is the birthday boy, Aaron Gomez, who's getting set to enter. The big 3-0 tonight on match day. Here's the in-swinger. It's a loose clearance, cleared off the line by Omaha. Knew who fumbled it, and it was Milanese's late intervention which did the job. What a chance this was. Nearly bashed into the back of the net by Ani. There's a bevy of Omaha defenders which kept the clean sheet intact for the time being. Bill Hart stands over it again. Another quality delivery. This one is more confidently dealt with by Omaha. And Lewis now with plenty of space. Cynical challenge there from Sierakowski. And no doubt entering the book. Professional foul. Classic yellow card incident. See Lewis here, pace to burn, breaking away. Sierakowski just tugs him from behind. No questions about that from either party. Gomez is still getting set to enter. It's now a question of when he will be waved onto the pitch. It appears that time maybe now. Yellow card presented by Herdat Sports Bar and Grill. Sierakowski becoming the third kicker to be booked tonight. Gomez does enter the fray. Lewis replaced. Well, there is Aaron Gomez playing now on his 30th birthday today. Looking to mark it with what would be his second goal of the season. Dos Santos. Here is Ostrom. Well, Gomez, a native of El Paso, made his trade for so long with El Paso Locomotive and set the all-time appearance record there this season, joining Union Omaha, and has been a key piece on the flanks all year for Los Pujos. A rare substitute appearance for him tonight, in part due to the emergence of Joe Gallardo. Knapp winning this back well. Akoff, plenty of space. Driving through, narrowly trickling it beyond the far post. A matter of inches from 3-0. As things stand, Ryan Shello continuing to weather the storm. This is a clever opportunity from Dean Akoff. You see the trickery. Just able to dance towards the byline and somehow generate a deflection. It sets up the first Modelo corner kick of the second half for Union Omaha. Approaching the final 20 minutes. A third would all but seal it tonight. Gallardo with in-swing. Towards the back post. Did take a touch, and Shella was off his line. And will stay here for another corner. Here's another look at the opportunity for Makoff. Terrific bit of individual skill. He outwits Franca. He takes the slight touch off of Ryan Shello at the near post, and that's what yields the corner. Another Modelo corner kick for Los Pujos. Ostrom to take. High and arcing. It's beyond the reach of Milanese, who says he was tugged. Wesley Costa evidently unmoved. Changes now being readied for Richmond. Joao Gomiro, a creative attacking mid who gets his opportunity off the bench as Richmond looks to unlock this Omaha back line. Talking to Darren Sawatsky this week, he mentioned Gomiro as more of an unsung hero for this bunch. Someone who has not played a lot, as more of a reserve because it's been tough to displace Neil Vinyals, but has made the most of his minutes. Here's another man who has done that. Johnson cutting it across, narrowly beyond the reach of Terzaghi. Here is Vinyals. All of the big guns on the pitch at the same time for Richmond. A midfield loaded with creative midfielders and wingers. And the league's all-time leading goal scorer up front. It's the cross from Schenfeld. And Fitch is unable to keep this in play. It appears Gomiro replaced Bill Hart in that last interchange. Fans, USL Championship soccer continues on the ESPN networks in September with a Western Conference matchup of teams fighting to cross the playoff line. Last season's champion Phoenix Rising FC hosts Tulsa Friday, September 6th at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. All part of the extensive exposure the league and its affiliates are receiving this year on the ESPN and CBS networks. USL League One last night on the Golazo Network, a 1-1 draw between One Knox and Spokane Velocity. A One Knox team that has been resurgent in its couple of matches since the departure of Mark McKeever. The goals have hit the back of the net at will, it seems. Set piece here for Aaron Gomez, and Joe Gallardo will take this. It's an arcing ball towards the heart of the area. Mastro Antonio got his dome to it, but not much more. Well, as long as this remains 2-0, you get the sense that Richmond still has a semblance of life. They've had a number of chances to half the deficit. We all know once the first goal flies in, things get nervy. Perhaps Omaha may rue not killing the match off with a third. Had multiple instances in which they could have done so. But the age-old tale for Richmond this season has been finding that elusive breakthrough. That has eluded them in so many key moments this year. And if they are to creep over the playoff line, that has to happen at some point. Could tonight kickstart the trend forward for Richmond? Gomiro. It's a switch of the play that finds Simon Fitch's boots. And won back confidently by Milanese. rapidly approaching the final quarter of an hour from Warner Park. A night that began with early fireworks has been followed up by a professional display in the second half from Los Bujos. It is Richmond still chasing. Appears we'll have one final hydration break before the night is out. A 2-0 advantage for Union Omaha, the second hydration break on a warm, humid evening in Papillion, Nebraska tonight. What a night it's been for Omaha. Put Richmond to the sword early. They've had chances to eradicate the threat once and for all. Haven't quite done so. And a performance Dom Casciato will no doubt be pleased with, especially considering the wobble they hit around the turn of the month. A rare bout of 3 matches winless before defeating Fuego 15 days ago, but they've dealt with that 15-day break very well. On the other side, Darren Sawatsky's side, reeling. They've been playing catch-up since the 19th minute, unsuccessfully trying to find that breakthrough to make things nervy on the hosts. When talking to Dom Casciato, seemed confident with the way his side would fare. It was a 15-day layover between the 1-0 victory over Fuego in the Jägermeister Cup on August 9th and tonight. But he said he gave his side a bit of a mental health break after the game, gave them a lot of time to recover, travel, see family, and whatnot. And it's recharged his bunch. Also healthier than they've been in quite some time. All of that has reflected well on the pitch. The Union Omaha side that so often gets in fine form at the home stretch of the season is doing the same once again. Mark Bronick entering the action in place of Charlie Ostrom, the young forward, getting his opportunity late. 17 years of age out of the Barca Academy, just his 7th appearance in all competitions. Bronick is most known for bearing the decisive penalty kick against El Paso in the U.S. Open Cup in the 3rd round. It was part of a very strong run by Union Omaha to the 4th round of the competition, round of 32, where they ultimately fell in extra time. Here's Vinyals from afar. It had some dip and venom, but sailed mercifully over the crossbar. So far, many of those eye-catching efforts have not troubled Rashid Nuhu between the sticks. This is a very solid effort. There is a lot in this hit from Neil Vinyals. Fields it well, chests it down, it's a half volley, and it just has a little too much altitude for his liking. Still chances materializing though for Richmond. Are there late dramatics that await? Or will Omaha's comprehensive display be rewarded tonight? Gallardo dancing along the byline. Now falls to the feet of Landon Johnson. Dinked ball forward towards Johnson. Able to win the foot race with Blake Malone. Just outmuscles the 17-year-old. Back by Gomez. Switch of the play from Gallardo, which finds the feet of Sierakowski. Only momentarily at that. Oni. Johnson is bundled over by Milanese, who, mind you, is already on a yellow card. That doesn't appear to meet the threshold of a second. Inside the final 10 minutes, here from Papillion, Nebraska. Same scoreline we had at intermission. Both teams missing opportunities to put another on the board. In Richmond's case, put one on the board and make it intriguing. Looking for Johnson, and it comes loose for Brendan Knapp. Referee says play on. Long ball towards Sierakowski, who fields it nicely and now has support. It is still Sierakowski towards Terzaghi. Ultimately, the defense buys Nuhu enough time. Frustration around the goal mouth for Emiliano Terzaghi has been the story of the night. A man who is known for his ferocious finishing in that department. He's right in the heat index there. The ball's just played behind him, and it forces him to do too much work with it. That kind of night. His wingers haven't quite hit him in stride. Final third execution lacking slightly for Richmond, as it unfortunately has done on a number of occasions this season for Darren Sawatsky's bunch. Gomez wins this back. Dos Santos. Brought down. Free kick awaits. And he still seems to be dealing with a bit of an ailment to that left calf. They've gotten a bit of a dead leg here. See him wait for support. Seems he stepped awkwardly, maybe a pair of studs to the shin as well. Either way, seems content to carry on. One more crack for Gallardo before the night is over. And well within his range at that. Four-man wall for Richmond. Gallardo looking for the final bit of fireworks before the evening is out. Gallardo takes a deflection off the wall, and it finds its way in. The killer blow for Omaha. 3 goals for 3 points. And Joe Gallardo with a brace this evening. What a night for Joe Gallardo, and what a performance from Omaha. The Parliament rejoice. Omaha destined for the top 2 tonight. The goal presented by Nebraska Lottery on a night where Omaha has been ruthless in the final third. The ball bounces their way on the set piece. Gallardo puts some whip to this. It takes a hit off of the middleman in the Richmond wall, and that carries it well out of the reach of Ryan Cello. Joe Gallardo with a second tonight, and a third on the year in league play. Fourth on the year, excuse me. 7th goal in all competitions. Someone who has proven to be a menace tonight, perhaps the most dangerous player in the final third. He sealed that honor with a lovely free kick finish, even with the aid of a deflection. figure, barring a late meltdown, that is the final blow for Richmond. Schenfeld hunting a response. Cross deflected out of play. Fans, the USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. 5 minutes to go. Joe Gallardo's free kick strike has Omaha in prime position for the 3 points. 26-year-old with a brace. Such a promising star at Querétaro and in his earlier days in USL League One. And he comes back to haunt his former club with a pair of tallies tonight. Was once an all-league talent with Richmond, making his case to replicate that honor with Omaha. Fitch. This is Gomiro. Vinyals. Excellent link up. This is Gomiro darting it across. Falls to the feet of Fitch, who ultimately takes a heavy touch. Milanese breaking the other way. Runs into the brick wall that is Nathan Awney. A match that Omaha has frankly controlled wire to wire tonight. Put up a trio of goals, and it's safe to say they've navigated their way out of the late July goal run, which struck in that 3-match winless wobble. Johnson looking for consolation, bashing it right into the gloves of Newman. He's looking for a second consecutive clean sheet for Union Omaha. Would be his 4th of the year if all holds. A defense that has proved difficult to break down all season is regaining its early season form at the back. If you weren't convinced yet, the title aspirations are well and truly viable for Union Omaha at this stage. Heard word that after the goal, Arthur Bashua checked in for his first action since early June. Number 9 for Richmond, returning from a prolonged layoff. Another veteran of the league ranks as well. Spent so much time with Tormenta and elsewhere. Here is Sierakowski. Well, that man has been nothing short of a star tonight. 19th minute penalty to double the advantage. A late free kick to wrap up the points. And a number of key chances created off of his boots. And at 26 years of age, just beginning to enter the prime of his career. He'll make way to a well-deserved applause. So Omaha makes the alteration. Joe Gallardo commended on his home patch. A brace against his former club to put Omaha in prime position to wrap up the points. Dos Santos also making way for Ryan Jiba, the former Sporting KC man. It is Isaac Bawa who makes his 3rd league appearance in a defensive-minded alteration as well. Rapidly approaching stoppage time. Jiba. For Omaha, nothing short of a dominant display tonight. It was the fast start. There was a little bit of a wobble in the early second half, late first, but they've regrouped and have really never left it up for debate in terms of who would secure the victory. It's 5 minutes of added time presented by Bellevue University. And as things stand, it appears all academic at the moment. Vinyals towards the back post. It's beyond the reach of Ani. Sierakowski keeps it in play. Stabbed away and falls to Brunning. One back by Gomez. And here is Jiba. Is there one final blow in it for Los Puos? Chelsea Youth Academy product who has hardly put a foot wrong tonight. Over 3,700 in attendance tonight, just announced throughout the stadium. Terrific turnout here at Warner Park, as is custom for Omaha fans. The Parliament has enjoyed a party this evening on a warm night on the outskirts of Omaha. Johnson, the last of Richmond's ventures forward await. It just becomes a question of whether Omaha keeps a second consecutive clean sheet on the trot in all comps. What a rebound it's been from the pair of late July defeats. Here's Vinyals to deliver the free kick. And Nuhu taking the contact from Sierakowski. And while this appears more concerning than a routine coming together, Omaha's star goalkeeper flattened here. Bashed in the shoulder and seems to be still clutching at it. Man who has been the leader of this Omaha team the last few years, the longest tenured player in the club. Slow to get up after taking the heavy contact to his right side from Sierakowski. This is a very undesirable final sight for Omaha on an otherwise sensational night. Well, there's Wallace Lapsley warming up. He's been the league Jägermeister Cup goalkeeper and has been quite strong in his own right. Tom Casciato said they acquired him with the intention of playing him in that competition. It appears he will not need to intervene tonight. Nuhu is good to finish this out. Into the final minute of added time. Crowd giving their goalkeeper a deserved applause. perhaps time for one final sojourn forward for Richmond. And it may have been snuffed out at the source. Gomez can't quite keep it in play. We are now beyond the 5 minutes of added time. The ref may let it run a bit due to the Nuhu injury scare. It is all at Wesley Costa's discretion. Bashua. Vinyals, read well by Norte. It becomes a routine game of keep away from here on out for Los Bujos. Here's Gomiro. We are well beyond the added 5 at this stage. Schoenfeld, Sierakowski has support in the form of Vinyals. Handing it off now to Gomiro. Joao Gomiro trickling beyond the near post. And that likely has wrapped it up. There is the final whistle. A comprehensive display from Union Omaha, who has laid out its title case in plain and clear fashion for everyone to see. A dominant 3-0 victory with a brace courtesy of Joe Gallardo making all of the difference. A result that was never in doubt after the opening 20 minutes. Omaha surging to second in the table, Richmond languishing in 11th. Our man of the match tonight, presented by Platinum Chiropractic and Wellness, is none other than the man who provided the brace. Joe Gallardo was sensational tonight, doubling Omaha's advantage from the penalty spot after winning the penalty in the 19th minute, and then wrapping up the points in the final 10 minutes. A free kick that was deflected into the back of the net. He was credited with the goal, had tremendous whip to it, took it well beyond Cello's reach. And that was the tally that sealed all 3 points in a terrific display for Union Omaha tonight. A 3-0 victory from Omaha as they surge up the league table, 2 points off top of the league after tonight's action. We will step aside on the Blackstone District postgame show when we return a look at the 90 minutes that just transpired here in Papillion. Stick with us on ESPN+.
My name is Blake Malone, and I'm a center back for Union Omaha. The partnership between Bellevue University and Union Omaha enables me to continue my career as a professional soccer player, as well as extending my time and learning to get another degree, and for that I'm very thankful. I would say reach out. Bellevue University has been very, very kind and generous to us. They're very responsive, they have great people working up front, so I would say go, give it a reach, look out, and see if it works for you.
Season 1 of Wild Kingdom, Protecting the Wild, brought one of the most beloved legacy television series back to audiences nationwide.
It's just a thrill of a lifetime.
Now, with over 1 million viewers each week and 4 Emmy nominations to its name, it's time for Season 2. Time for breathtaking new adventures.
It's a kitten!
Intense new challenges. international exploration,
That is so cool.
and animal encounters like never seen before.
Hi. We have 3 newborn cubs to this mama.
The legacy continues on Season 2 of Wild Kingdom Protecting the Wild, coming this fall to NBC.
Well, back here from Papillion, where it finishes Omaha 3, Richmond 0. A dominant display from Los Bujos, the post-game show presented by Blackstone District. The fans are thrilled with what they've just seen, and the reason is a dominant display from Los Bujos. Any way you slice it, a comprehensive victory for the hosts. We pick things up early on, the 4th minute, an errant back pass sequence between Justin Suko and Ryan Shello. You see this slip on the back pass from Shello. It gives Knapp the time he needs to bear through on goal. He opens the scoring with the first goal of his professional career. Then Joe Gallardo, brought down in the box by Justin Suko, makes no mistake from the penalty spot. A well-struck, well-positioned spot kick, and it was 2-0 from there. There were chances from Richmond in it. Neil Vignoles had a couple of decent opportunities, and then late on, this chance, an errant back pass from Charlie Ostrom, gave Adrian Bilhart a lifeline chance for Richmond, unable to produce the lifeline, and then one more flicked-on opportunity that just skated beyond the far post. From there, Union Omaha began to kill the match off. Dion Akoff nearly put the match to bed around the 70th minute. There were some decent half chances from Richmond in the late stages, but Emiliano Terzaghi frustrated. And then finally, in the closing embers of it, it was a Joe Gallardo free kick, the deflection, which took it into the back of the net and gave the Omaha side all 3 points. What a performance it was from Los Bujos. You get a look at the full-time stats. It wound up being a shots and possession edge from Richmond, but the key stat, shots on goal, an elite conversion rate for Union Omaha, converting on 3 of their 10 shots, putting 6 of their 10 on frame. Richmond only put 4 shots on goal and never truly tested Rashid Nuhu. So the numbers don't tell the full story. It was largely a dominant Omaha display in the first 20 minutes. Richmond took over the match, and Omaha was happy to absorb pressure, and then they finally killed it off late. Ultimately, never felt in danger, the full-time stats presented by Pepsi, as Dom Casciato's bunch secure a dominant victory. Well, the players still clapping up the fans who are thrilled with what they've seen. Los Bujos moving into the top 2 of the USL League One table after tonight's comprehensive victory. A 3-0 win over Richmond Kickers, who find themselves in a very precarious position in the postseason hunt. For Omaha, a push on for a second consecutive supporter shield not out of question. We thank you for joining us here from Papillion tonight. This is Sam Goldfarb saying so long from Warner Park, where it finishes Omaha 3, Richmond 0. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. Saying so long from Omaha.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.